I am so excited, you guys. I mean, I just can't tell you. Can you see what's behind me? Woo. So I've been researching these forever, trying to figure out which 12-volt car fridge is going to be the best for me and for this minivan and for my needs. So I finally, after doing a ton of research, I finally made a choice, and I'm doing the unboxing right now. So if you guys want to come back and see what I chose and find out all about it, just tune back in. We'll see you in a minute. Okay, back. Here we go. Now, you guys, I chose the, I don't know how to say this. It's EUHOMY, Emily or Eomini. Not sure about the pronunciation of it, but they had two different sizes. And at first, I wanted to go with the 27 quart, the larger one, because I'm thinking if I'm going to purchase this, I want to have it big enough to accommodate as much as possible within, not using too much space. But the thing is, and I'm going to show you guys here in just a minute, I have completely reorganized my minivan, micro camper, and so I've got a particular space that this needs to go in, and y'all know what I'm talking about. You got to have a certain place that it goes in order for everything else to fit, because all this is like a puzzle. But so I will show you in a minute. It had to be a certain height in order to slide out from under a tabletop area that I was using kind of like as a kitchen counter type thing. So anybody else ever use keys to open things? All right, so I want to open it up. May need more than keys. I don't know. Surely to goodness I can do this here. Let's see what happens. I should always be prepared. Why didn't I also have some scissors laying out here just in case? I'm just too excited. Okay, I'm gonna have to get some scissors. Hang tight. I'm back. And by the way, I knew exactly where my scissors was, because I have done some killer organizing in here, y'all, and I know where every single thing is. And I'm so excited about that, because I cannot say the same thing about my house or anywhere else. But I'm going to be able to say that about my van. So I could have kind of pre-done this so it'd take a little less time, right? But you all know everything I do is real, it's raw, and it is happening like right now. So what you see is what's really happening. All right. Now, take everything out here. It's got the some nice styrofoam on the top, packed well. Plastic. Pepper's checking everything out. My doggy's here. And if you can see, it's the top of it. It's white, which I would prefer black. But, you got to go with the price. This was like $159 on Amazon. I'm going to set this down for a minute so I can get to it. I'm going to set it on the ground. Okay, styrofoam in the bottom too. So here we go. Hoping that my camera don't turn over, because I am the Lone Ranger today, like I always am. All right. So, all the packing back in here. Now, I'm going to tilt this up where you can see better. Just hang on one second. Okay, I'm going to have to tilt the camera up and down a little bit because I don't have the right size tripod. Really, I've got to get a new one. But anyway, so I've got it propped up on this styrofoam, so try to get a better height on here. So this is the brand of it. Like I said, I can't pronounce it. EUHOMY. UME maybe. UMI. It's Chinese, of course, like most of them are on there. Like I said, this was like $159 from Amazon. Now, it's a side open. It's, you know, instead of the front ways, it's side, which I did like that. I did like that. So that was one of the reasons. Really, it wasn't necessary after I did a little bit of rearranging. At first I thought that I'm going to absolutely have to have this opening up on the side instead of from the front for the lid, but I'm not going to have it the way I do now. But anyway, it's not going to really matter at this point. So I can already tell that it's not as big as I had hoped. Like I said, I believe, let me get the paperwork here. I believe it was 16 quart. It had a 16 and a 27. And I hope I didn't make a mistake. But the thing is, you guys know I'm not full-time yet. I'm not a full-timer, so I thought this would be a good, even if it was a little bit too small, it would be a good starter refrigerator for me to do what I do now as a part-time traveler, and you know, taking the trips that I take. None of them are like very extended. I'm trying to do more and more, but right now I think this is going to be a good starter fridge. I think it's 16 quart. Yeah, 20. I think so. Can't find it right now. But anyway, I chose the smaller one over the 27 inch. So I'm going to try to lift this up here. So if you can see in it, here's the inside. Of course, your inside dimensions, you know, smaller than what, you know, is listed for the outside. Over here is the control panel. And it said it was quiet, you know, which I really don't care too much about that either, because, you know, I've weaned myself off of it, but I used to use a fan to sleep by, you know, just for the white noise or whatever. And, you know, I weaned myself off of that during the ice storm last year when I was without power for 5 days here, 5 or 6 days. So I don't need that anymore. Sometimes I'll do it occasionally, drown out Pepper snoring. She sleeps with me every night, and she snores just like a human. But anyway, another reason I love this, and this, I mean, this narrowed it down the choices to a little less too, because this comes with the 12-volt adapter, but it also comes with the AC adapter too, and most of them don't do that. Most of them that I was looking at, you have to buy the AC adapter separately. So when you figure that in, if you guys are looking at ones and looking at the price or whatever, be sure and take that into consideration, because if you want to be able to switch it to you know, regular plug-in with AC power, then, you know, you can justify spending a little bit of money on the fridge when they include that. So the cords look thick. So now I'm going to show you next. Now this is white. Like I said, it's white, if you can see down here, with this black trim, and then the top is white. White usually doesn't go with any of my stuff. You know, I do more rustic stuff, and the van's black, and I like black stuff like that for a color scheme. But in this case, it's really not going to matter. I mean, like I said, you got to consider the price, and when it had both of these adapters, and the space, you know. So when I took everything into consideration, I went with this. And I do think it's going to be a good starter fridge, but I do believe, you know, eventually I will get something bigger. So the next thing I want to show you, and you guys, I'm going to do a complete minivan tour on this little minivan camper to show you all the changes I made. Some of you have seen the last couple bed redos I did and some things like that. You may have seen the inside of it through some other videos. But I really, really am loving this setup now. I'm still working on a few little things, but the gist of it is done. So I'm going to show you now the space this is going in and how I had to measure for that and what it would accommodate. So just hang on. Okay, y'all, here is how my kitchen setup is and where the fridge is going to go in that space right there. So what I did, and even to accommodate this little wooden coffee table I had already. And like I said, I'm all about using what you have. Use what you have as much as possible. So I had that, and originally, you can see down here, it had it had a shelf that went along the bottom of it, which I absolutely did not need. I knew this is where I wanted to put. This cooler is my dry goods pantry. So that's very special because somebody very dear gave that to me, and it is original. This is like from the 70s, and it's a retro colors, the green and all that. I love that. So that's for my dry goods. And the way I wanted this set up to be is that I would be able to pull both of these out, the pantry and the refrigerator, which is going right here. I wanted to be able to pull them out from either side. So I'm over here with the doors open, and what my idea for this is, I want to be able to cook outside and inside. So for instance, if I'm out here, you know, from the outside, I can just pull these out, you know, and I can pull it out enough to open the lid, get whatever out, and slide back. Same thing if I'm on the other side. So, and I wanted to do the, you know, be able to do the same thing for the fridge. Now, here was the problem. This this little ledge right here, if I had taken that out, it was really going to, you know, make the table not as strong, because you can see the bulk of it rests on that, and, you know, one on the other side. So that was the issue about the height of this fridge. The one I think that I was going to get was like 13.1 inches high, and it was just a little bit, it wouldn't have been able to have slid in and out here good. So I'm going to pause this for just a second, and I'm going to put this refrigerator in that space, and we're going to see how that does. Okay, so I've got it in here, and there's plenty enough space for it to slide. Now, the width wasn't a problem on either one of them. On these fridges, this brand, the two sizes they had, the 16 quart and the 27 quart, the width and the length was the same on them, actually. The only thing that was any different was the height. So it was really, it would have been really tight. And, you know, I've got my rugs down here too. If I had gotten the larger one, I measured it, and I think it would have been, you know, it would have come right up against this. And that just, you know, it wouldn't have allowed for easy sliding in and out. See, I could actually have accommodated something wider. But this is going to be able to be, you know, get in and out. So from either end. So I can lift it, you know, I can pull it all the way out to the edge of the van floor here. But if I'm on the other end, you know, fixing something to eat from the inside, I can access this fridge from the inside too. And that was my goal for this setup. So what I'm going to have to do now, I'm going to, you know, I want to get it cooled down. I'm going to try it first, I think, with the, I'm going to try it first with the AC power and plug it in the house, and let it get cooled down. And it goes, this I think goes down to 20 degrees, I think. So it actually can freeze if you want it to. And I really, not at this point, I'm not going to have anything really frozen. But, you know, the ideal fridge, I think, would be able to have both of those options, where you could, you know, one side would be a fridge and the other side would be a freezer. That's what I would really like to have. And like I said, on down the road, I may get something a little bit bigger and a little bit fancier, maybe. But the temperature range, you know, is any, I think, goes down as low. Yeah, temperature control range 20. It's got, yeah, lowest 20 degrees. So, it seems to be built well. The plastic seems to be sturdy. So if it works like it says it's going to work, you know, it'll be fine. So, I'm trying to see what else it says here that's recommended. You know, these are pretty much standard. Most of these little 12-volt fridges are, as far as what they say. You know, the control panel, it's got the temperature. This also has a child lock on it, which is not going to pertain to me, but, you know, that would be very handy if you're traveling with kids, if they couldn't, you know, accidentally touch the control, the setting on it. So that would be good. So anyway, I am going to get this cooled down and see how that works, and start putting some stuff in it and seeing how that does. So that's what I'm going to be showing you next, and then we'll see how it does. So check back. Okay, you guys, I'm back. Now I had to film this part quite a bit later because in reading the directions on the refrigerator, it says to let it set for over 6 hours, it said, before powering on. So it probably would have been okay because when I picked it up from the post office, I didn't take it directly home and use it right then. It actually sat in my vehicle for a couple days before I could get around to getting it opened and doing this video and everything, getting a day to do that. So it probably would have been fine, but you know, I wanted to make sure I did exactly what the directions said, so I did leave it. I plugged it in with the AC adapter in my house, in my kitchen. So it set for over 6 hours, or around 6 hours, on my kitchen counter, and then I plugged it in with the AC adapter. Now, and you guys, it did great. It has a max setting and a economical setting. So if you want to cool it down fast, you set it on that max setting, and which I did, and I'm telling you, it got cold in like 10 minutes. So then you set your setting for whatever you want to set it to, whatever temperature you want, and it got it to that temperature like 10 minutes. It was about 10 minutes. So anyway, now I know that's good, you know, with the AC power. The cords are long enough. They're extra long, thick cords, durable. So now I'm using the 12-volt cord, and I'm out here in the van, in the minivan. I'm going to turn it around here and show you the setup here. So you remember I showed you my space, you know, that I wanted it. So there's plenty of room for it to slide under this little ledge here on this table. So it is powered on with the DC power. And y'all, I haven't tried it on the cigarette outlet in the van yet. This is using my power station, because that's what, you know, I would be using once I'm set up somewhere. So I'm gonna have to hold the camera here for just a second till I can pull this out, just one-handed. One-handed. Let me set it on my knee. Get here and set it on my knee. Okay. So open it up this way. I haven't put anything in it yet, but you guys, it is cold. It's actually at 39. I think right now it's at 39 degrees, and it is ice cold in here. And of course, now it might be a little more than that now, because I think I initially set it for 43 degrees, but I'm loving it. You can see that it has a little drain in it too, where you can get condensation or whatever in there. So now I am going to, now you can see, like I said, the way I had this set up is I have it to where I can pull it from either side. So hang on just a second. I'm going to get on the other side and show you how long this cord is and where it is in conjunction with my power station. So hang on just a minute. Okay, so you can see on this end, so if I'm in here doing whatever, I can pull that out to, if I'm on the inside fixing stuff, pull that out, lift this up very easily. So that's what I'm loving about this. So you can see there's the display panel. You have your up and down settings. It's showing now that it's hooked up to the 12 volt. It's at 46 degrees right now. That little lock button, that is to keep a kid or whatever from accidentally, you know, changing the setting on you. And there's your on off. Right here's the on off button, and over here's your settings where you can change it to the max setting or the eco setting to save you energy and power. Now I'm going to show you. Here's this cord. See, look at this. I've got it hooked up. I don't know, it probably tells on the instructions how long it is. That is a good size cord. Plenty of length there. It'll go all the way to the end of this fan. So I can plug it in anywhere as far as that goes. And I'll show you here. Sorry for the, I'm trying to do this one-handed. So now I've got it plugged into my power station, to my EcoFlow power station here, and I'll show you settings. Of course, it's over here. It's on the plugged into the DC power. Now, right now, it's not showing, and the reason it's not showing, I think, any the input on the wattage right here is because the compressor hasn't kicked on yet. I brought it directly from inside the house. So once it gets to the desired setting that you've got it at, then it will kick off. So that compressor is not running that much. So now it's flashing down here. It's 50. What's this little HZ? That's showing, well, right here, that little plug-in symbol right there, that's showing that it's plugged in to this, that you got something plugged in here, and then it is running to the DC, or the 12 volt plug in there. So as of right now, you guys, I mean, I'm not going to be able to tell how many watts that is pulling until that kicks on. So I don't know when it's going to do that. But right now the temperature is at 46 degrees. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it shows it right there. 13.5 volts. That's what it's doing. It's showing it there, I guess, is what's happening. This is the very first time I've used this here on this at all, you all. This is all new to me too. I mean, you guys are seeing it pretty much live right here on Gal Going Camping. So, I'm loving it so far. I'm so excited. I had one of these years ago, you guys. It wasn't like this. I don't even know. I was trying to remember what brand that was. But it was actually, I got it at Walmart. And it was bigger than this. Actually, I wish I still had that. It was great. You could use it vertically or horizontally. Man, I think it might have been around, back then, around $100. And I had it for quite some time. Actually, it wasn't that long. But was on a long trip. And somewhere on that trip, it quit working. And I don't know. I don't know why. But I really, really miss that thing. And that's been 10 years ago, y'all. So anyway, you know, they've come out with a lot better things now than they used to have. So I think this is going to be good, like I said, for a good little starter fridge. I wish that it was bigger, but for now it's going to be fine. And you know, like I said, on down the road, when I am full-time or much more than what I do now, I'm definitely going to get something bigger. I do know that. But for now, it's going to be great, and I could either sell this or keep it. You know, person really could use one if you're going to have a house and be on the road. You know, you could use something small for the vehicle and something larger for the house, or vice versa. So, a really good thing to have. You know, when the electric goes out for your home. But I'm so excited about this. No more ice. Hate that. Don't we all hate that? So, y'all, the UME, I think I've realized how to say it. UME, 16 quart, 12 volt refrigerator freezer. It's got, you know, this is not the kind where you can set it to be fridge or fridge and freezer. It's one or the other. So you set it according to the temperature. It gets down low enough to freeze if that's what you want. So anyway, like I said, it has the 12 volt adapter and the AC adapter. $159 at Amazon. 2 sizes available, the 16 quart and the 27 quart. And so far, it's working just like it said it did. I went by the instructions. And like I said, you know, where it said on the instructions to leave it set 6 hours before you even plugged it in. So I think that's for everything to settle in case it has been shifted, that compressor and everything shifted during shipping or something like that. So I did exactly what it said. And you need to do that no matter what you get. You know, try to use whatever the item is directly as it instructs you to, so that you know that you're doing everything right. And if there is some issue, you don't have to call manufacturer or whatever. You know, hopefully you can get it resolved. So anyway, y'all, I'm so excited. I'm going to let you know how this does. Okay, there it's pulling. The compressor just kicked on. I'm going to turn it around here. And another thing, you guys, it said it was quiet. I don't know if you can hear that, but it definitely is. It's quiet. Doesn't make much noise at all. So here it is right now. Let me get it leveled out here. Can you see that? Looks like it's, I don't know, averaging about, see how it's going back and forth, but see that compressor's on, that's what it's doing. So it's about, looks like an average of about 35 watts maybe. It's going from like 28 to 41. And it doesn't take long for that compressor to stay on before it starts cooling it down. So anyway, I was hoping it would do that before I got done with that video. So move it back around here. All right, y'all. So far so good, and I can't wait for the next outing and load this little baby up and have all my cool stuff cool, where the cool stays cool and the hot stays hot. You all remember that commercial? The McDLT from McDonald's? And that's going to show your age because they haven't had that sandwich in years. But the jingle was where the hot stays hot and the cool stays cool. So anyway, y'all have a great day, and I'll let you know more about this fridge as I use it. So remember, don't wait to live. See you down the road.